Stop scrolling right now because what you are about to uncover is the kind of moment that turns a simple scene into a global obsession. And if you have ever felt your heart race watching Dylan Wang and Shen Yue together, then this story will change everything you thought you knew. And by the end, you will see their chemistry in a completely new way. So stay with me and do not forget to subscribe because moments like this do not come often. It all begins with a scene that at first feels ordinary. No dramatic build-up, no obvious signal that something unforgettable is about to happen. Just two characters standing in the same space. The atmosphere calm, the energy steady, almost quiet. But then something shifts. Dylan looks at Shen Yue. Not just a quick glance, but a moment that lingers just long enough to feel different. His expression softens in a way that feels natural, not forced, not exaggerated, just real. And in that exact second, Shen Yue reacts. Not dramatically, not in a way that demands attention, but in a subtle, almost instinctive way. Her eyes meet his, and everything changes. Time seems to slow down. The background fades into silence. And suddenly the focus is not on the story anymore, it is on them. That is the moment fans could not ignore. The moment that made people pause, rewind, and watch again. Because it did not feel like acting. It felt like something deeper. Something unspoken. As the scene continues, their interaction becomes even more captivating. Dylan steps slightly closer, not enough to be obvious, but enough to shift the energy between them. Shen Yue does not move away. Instead, she stays grounded, calm, and completely present. There is a quiet understanding between them that does not need words. It is the kind of connection that can only be felt, not explained. And that is what made this moment so powerful, because it broke through the screen and reached the audience in a way that felt personal. Fans around the world instantly reacted. Social media filled with clips, screenshots, and endless discussions. People began asking the same question again and again. What just happened? Was it just great acting? Or was it something more? As more viewers revisited the scene, they began to notice details they missed the first time. The way Dylan slightly tilts his head, as if trying to understand her better. The way Shen Yue holds his gaze without hesitation. The small pause between them that feels filled with meaning. These are not the kind of details that happen by accident. They are the kind of moments that reveal connection. And once fans saw it, they could not unsee it. But the story does not stop there. Because that one moment became a turning point. Everything that came after felt different. Scenes that once seemed simple now carried more weight. Every interaction between Dylan Wang and Shen Yue suddenly felt layered with emotion. There is another scene that fans began to connect with this moment. A quiet conversation where their characters are not saying much, but everything is being felt. Dylan speaks softly, his tone calm, yet filled with something deeper. Shen Yue listens, not just hearing him, but truly understanding him. Her expression shifts subtly, reflecting every emotion he conveys. And once again, the connection feels real. Too real to be ignored. Behind-the-scenes footage only made things more intense. Clips showed them laughing naturally, sharing small moments that felt genuine. There was no distance, no awkwardness, just comfort. The kind of comfort that comes from familiarity and trust. Fans quickly noticed how easily they interacted, how naturally they moved around each other. And suddenly, that one moment from the scene started to make even more sense. It was not just a single isolated event. It was part of a bigger picture, a pattern of connection that had been building all along. As discussions grew, louder theories began to form. Some believed it was simply the result of two talented actors fully immersing themselves in their roles. Others were convinced it was something more, something real, something that went beyond the script. And that is where the magic lies. Because the truth is not always clear. Sometimes it exists in that space between reality and performance. And that is exactly where Dylan Wang and Shen Yue seem to exist. In that space where everything feels possible. Where every glance carries meaning. Where every moment feels like it could change everything. That one moment did not just impact the story. It changed how fans saw them. It created a connection that extended beyond the screen. It sparked emotions that continue to grow even now. And perhaps that is the most powerful part of all. Because moments like this are rare. They cannot be planned. They cannot be forced. They simply happen. And when they do, they leave a lasting impression that stays with people long after the scene ends. So now the question is yours to answer. When you watch that moment, what do you feel? Do you see two actors delivering an incredible performance? Or do you see something deeper, something unspoken, something real? Watch it again, feel it again, and decide for yourself. And if this story made you see things differently, then do not keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments, join the conversation, and subscribe right now, because this is only one of many unforgettable moments waiting to be discovered, and the next one might just change everything again. And just when it felt like that one moment had already revealed everything it possibly could, the story somehow found a way to go even deeper, drawing fans back in with details that felt impossible to ignore. Because moments like that do not fade, they evolve. They grow stronger every time you revisit them. And for Dylan Wang and Shen Yue, that single glance became the beginning of something fans could not stop analyzing. As viewers replayed the scene again and again, new layers started to appear. There was a slight pause before Dylan spoke, almost as if he was choosing his words carefully, not just for the scene but for her. There was the way Shen Yue listened, not just reacting but anticipating, as if she already understood what he was about to say. And then there was the silence. That quiet space between their lines that somehow said more than any dialogue ever could. It was not empty. It was full of meaning, full of tension, full of connection. That silence became one of the most talked about parts of the scene because it felt real. Too real to be scripted. And once fans noticed it, everything changed again. Suddenly, every past moment between them started to resurface. Interviews where their eye contact lasted just a little longer than expected. Behind-the-scenes clips where their laughter felt effortless. Even small interactions that once seemed ordinary now carried a new sense of importance. One particular behind-the-scenes moment quickly gained attention. Dylan casually standing beside Shen Yue while the crew prepared the next shot. Nothing dramatic happening around them. No performance required. Yet their energy remained the same. Comfortable, natural, almost like they existed in their own space, separate from everything else. At one point, Shen Yue said something softly, and Dylan leaned in slightly to hear her better. It was such a small movement, but it carried weight, because it showed attentiveness. It showed presence. It showed that even off-camera their connection did not disappear. And fans noticed. They always notice. As the clip spread across social platforms, reactions poured in from every direction. Some fans described the moment as magical. Others called it undeniable. Many simply admitted they could not explain it, but they could feel it. And that feeling is what keeps the story alive. Because it goes beyond logic, beyond explanation. It lives in emotion, in intuition, in the quiet understanding that something about this connection feels different. Another scene from their past collaboration began to trend once again, and this time it hit even harder. A moment where their characters share a quiet emotional exchange. No dramatic music. No distractions. Just two people standing close enough to feel each other's presence. Dylan speaks with a calm intensity that feels grounded and sincere. Shen Yue responds with a softness that feels deeply genuine. And when their eyes meet, the world around them seems to disappear. It is not just chemistry. It is alignment. The kind that cannot be easily recreated. The kind that makes viewers believe in the story completely. And now, with everything fans have seen, that scene feels even more powerful. Because it no longer stands alone. It connects back to that one moment that changed everything. It becomes part of a larger narrative that continues to unfold. And the most fascinating part is that there is still no clear answer. No confirmation. No explanation. Just moments. Real or perceived. Simple or meaningful. Left open for interpretation. And maybe that is what makes it so captivating. Because the mystery allows everyone to see what they feel. To believe what resonates with them. To become part of the story in their own way. As time goes on, one thing becomes more and more certain. This is not just about a single scene. It is about a connection that continues to reveal itself piece by piece. Moment by moment. Detail by detail. And every time fans think they have reached the end, something new appears, pulling them back in once again. So now the question feels even stronger than before. If one moment could change everything, then what else is waiting to be discovered? What other scenes hold hidden meaning? What other interactions carry unspoken emotion? And most importantly, what does it all truly mean? The answers may not come immediately. They may never come in a clear or direct way. But perhaps that is not the point. Perhaps the beauty of this story lies in the journey, in the watching, in the feeling, in the shared experience of discovering something that feels special. So keep watching, keep noticing, keep questioning, because the story of Dylan Wang and Shen Yue is far from over. And the next moment might just be even more unforgettable.